Let's see. Aaron said, so can we come in and out of purpose and survival? Sometimes I feel that way. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And in fact, the wobble is part of the ascension process. Oh, good question, Aaron. Good question. The wobble is part of the ascension process. So think about this. If you have started on this pathway of there's more, and I know there's more, and I want to become that more, but then yet the ego is kind of pulling you back this way, and it's saying like, but survive and this and be fearful. And what about that? Right? You've got this kind of push pull thing happening. You're in the in between of the polarity. So think about it with our polarity aspects. If I'm just starting to kind of move towards my purposeful path, I'm just starting to identify more with soul, which, by the way, like, not the easiest journey. Not the easiest journey, right? Because we're programmed so hard. So if I have ego on one side and then I have soul on the other side, and say I've been operating here in survival for a really long time, and I'm just starting to awaken to move towards soul, as I'm being called, right? That's the calling feeling. It's like I have to. I don't know why, but I have to. Like, that feeling is that deep remembrance of who you are. So say you start to walk, here's like my little guy here. You start to walk in the journey, like you're here, you're here, you're here. Soul is a million times stronger than ego. So it's pulling you forward, but you see how you're still close to this side, right? So it still has like a pretty solid grasp on you. So your job in this, and this is beautiful because it's going to lead into the shadow as the light and what we're talking about today. Your job is to look at the parts of you that are attached to this side. And it's always going to come down to a fear of some sort. Like, why am I attached to this? Why do I not just go? Right? There's like an anchor. There's something holding you over here. And that's where our shadow work comes in. Because shadow work is not like, let me go into the depths of myself. I mean, it kind of is. But shadow work is like, I want to go. I want to step into this like expansive, magical light being where I'm doing what I came here to do. I'm fulfilling my dharma. I'm seeing the magic. I'm seeing the challenge. I'm rising to the occasion. Like, we want to be that side. Amen. And there's something in us that says, but you can't, because you have to do this. You have to do this. Right. So what we've got to look at is like, why am I so attached to that? Why do I not trust this? Even though it feels expansive. Hey, it feels beautiful. It feels like I have the perfect vision in my mind of everything that I want at that next level, right? But there's something in me that says, but you have to do this. And that's our addiction, our attachment. So attachments, a lot of times people think like something is attached to you. Never, 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 never. Write it down. Nothing can attach to you and hold you down. It is always you holding on to it. That's like a hard, like in the face kind of thing, but it's true. So let me think of an example that, okay, so say you have worked really, really hard your whole life. You've kind of been addicted to being a hard worker, right? So if you have this great work ethic, maybe to your own detriment, and soul is calling you to ease, flow, purpose, dharma, but your ego says, no, because the only way to get there is to like head down on the grindstone here. Like, you have to do this. You have to do this. It's like there's an attachment to my identity of I work hard. And a lot of times that attachment and that identity piece, the I work hard piece, is it's like, I'm not valid if I don't work hard. You see what I'm saying? I'm not proving myself if I don't do this. And meanwhile, soul And this path of enlightenment, this path of flow, I think about it like, the air current, that like when birds migrate, they get into the air current and they don't have to work as hard and it carries them 20 times faster. That's like our path of soul, right? But our ego is like, no, you got to walk there. You can't fly. You can't just float there. You got to walk. You got to prove yourself. You got to earn it. You got to show it, right? So it's like these two parts of ourselves. Well, if my identity has been based in this, then everything in me is going to fight for it because it's who I am. You feel me on this? It's who I am. Who am I if I'm not working hard? Who am I if I'm not proving myself? How am I going to get validation from the world, from others around me if I'm not doing this? So you see the attachment, very, very attached to this, even though that's the easier way. That's the way that's going to lead to everything you want so much easier. We're attached to this and we're like, I'm going to walk there. I'm migrating to the south of Africa by walking. We get attached in our identity. So we've got to look at why my identity is based in that. Why am I so attached to keeping that identity? Is there something bigger calling me to more, right? Because this is very, very limited, isn't it? Can't really get anywhere really quickly. Can't really do anything really big. You're going to run out of time, right? So that's another aspect of this ego versus soul. When you're moving into soul, time becomes less dense. It's less linear, where ego density is very linear, right? And it's like the fear of running out of time is very loud and you can only have so much time in the day, right? It's very, very dense. But once you start to ascend into light, time becomes malleable. It expands. It's different. It's just different. It's faster, but like there's more happening.